Jimmy Brandstatter. Now, Jimmy, how long were you on the Lions broadcast?
31 years.
31 years. So what would you say?
Billy, I was just thinking when you were going through all that stuff, what's your greatest gut punch? Hey, I saw a bunch of them. But, and again, it goes to this, I believe truly there's a curse. You remember the Red Sox and the curse of the Bambino. For some reason, maybe the curse of Bobby Lane is still coming along with the Lions. Because remember, I went through some of the most unbelievable. Calvin Johnson's catch, no catch in the end zone against the Bears. That was a catch. The referees overruled. Pettigrew and the playoff game against Dallas ruled interference, would have given the Lions the ball in a playoff game to possibly go down and win late because Stafford was hot. Instead, the back judge comes in, picks up the flag, says, no interference. Absolutely a screw job on that one. And then Aaron Rodgers throwing the Hail Mary at Ford Field with no time left. The Lions lose a game they should win. And then 66-yard field goal bounces off the crossbar. It's just one of many, and I've witnessed a lot of them. And I have no other explanation, Bill, because it truly is otherworldly that one franchise would get that. The delay call not being made, allowing them the opportunity to kick a 66-yarder. I mean, all these things, the combination of referee mistakes, bad calls, Lions mistakes contributing, and other guys making great plays. And it all seems to come down against the Detroit Lions. I've seen enough.
Were you on the broadcast team when Murray missed a field goal with Monty Clark and the Niners, or that was before your time?
That was before me. I was like, I want to say 4 or 5 years before me. Monty Clark was sitting on the sideline. Remember, with the hands together making the prayer signal, and Eddie, who is just money, always made kicks. And that one in San Francisco he missed.
I'm trying to think for Michigan gut punch losses. There's two that come to mind. Obviously, the muff punt against Michigan State and then the Cordell Stewart throw, right?
I would think those are the top two.
Yeah.
I mean, really, those. I mean, we've lost them Notre Dame games pretty badly. Harry Oliver kicking one when the wind stopped, 51 yards in South Bend. That one, and again, before that play, Tim Brown caught a pass out of bounds. They ruled the catch inbounds before replay.
That's weird. Notre Dame would get calls at home?
Yeah, they always do. When you play Notre Dame at South Bend, you better beat them by 2 touchdowns because the referees will make sure that they are close enough at the end to have a chance.
Yeah, I couldn't believe Notre Dame was a 6.5-point underdog in a neutral site game in Chicago, which is a Notre Dame town, and they just thrashed Wisconsin. So now that leads into the next part of our conversation. We had the Washington game was a big checkmark game. They got through it. Now you get Wisconsin, another checkmark game.
Right.
They don't play well in the second half against Rutgers. They played like they couldn't wait to get on the plane to Madison. Wisconsin had maybe the ugliest quarter they've ever had in school history in that fourth quarter in that loss to Notre Dame.
That's a fact.
I know they have a great rushing defense, so I'm looking at this game Saturday, Michigan at Wisconsin, where the Wolverines are favored by a point, and it's going to be on the arm of Cade McNamara in the passing game.
Probably will be. And here's the other thing. You mentioned that game against Notre Dame. Here's the amazing thing about that game. You look at the final, it's 41-13. Notre Dame was down in the fourth quarter in that game to Wisconsin 13-10.
Oh.
I mean, they're trailing 13-10 early in the fourth quarter. And so Wisconsin, when you look at that game, you know, man, if they don't self-destruct, they have a shot at beating Notre Dame in that game. And their offense and Graham Mertz is struggling. There's no question. And I think your characterization is absolutely correct. Michigan is not going to be able to run the ball, I don't think, because Wisconsin has a stout run defense. And you're going to have to find a way to, I think, set up the run by throwing the football.
And it's Cade McNamara, and it's a passing game that has had its moments, right? They still are deep at receiver. The line has been good enough. Again, the rushing yardage wasn't that good, but like I told everybody yesterday, my opening huge opinion to start this week, that you need to take away the name with Schiano, who knows defense. That is not your same old Rutgers dog team.
No. They're going to beat some people this year. They're They're going to be in pretty much every game. I think it'll be interesting to see. I think they got Ohio State this week. I think that's going to be an interesting game, too. I really do. I think Ohio State defensively has some liabilities, and I think Rutgers, Vedral's pretty good. Pacheco's a darn good running back. I love Cruikshank. I love their receivers. I think that's going to be a good game. I agree with you. I think Rutgers is a pretty darn good football team.
Why was Michigan so bad in the second half? Was it Rutgers? Was it a letdown? Was it getting outplayed, outcoached? What do you take from that second half against Rutgers, where they almost let Rutgers beat them?
I don't know, and I would not say it was outcoached because they played the first half and they had it figured out. I mean, they go 17 plays, 74 yards first drive, and score. And defensively, they did a great job on fourth down, and Rutgers has some trick plays and things that they do that are a little different, a little off center, and Michigan was able to adjust and do a great job. For some reason, they didn't have the same intensity, and I don't know why. I don't know what it was for, but I think X's and O's and everything else was there. And Cade did not play well. I think he missed some open balls. Mike Sainristil dropped the pass. You got to get some momentum. You got to have somebody make a play, when you're struggling a little bit to kind of get you out of that funk. And nobody came up and made that play. I think that was the difference. They just, for some reason, the intensity level was not the same as it was when they opened up the game, when they came out in the second half.
Jim Brandstatter, voice of Michigan football, joining us on the Meyer guest line here on the huge show across Michigan. Wolverines, Wisconsin, Saturday in Madison. And the road, if you take away no crowd at Minnesota and you take away, I think, some quality wins at Michigan State, the one thing Harbaugh needs is that huge road win, that win that says we may be a championship-level team by what you do on the road. And that Saturday, that's sitting there for this football team, Jim.
You bet. No, I agree with you. I mean, you got to go on the road. I mean, I looked at it this way. I mean, all year long, you said it earlier, check Washington. Okay, check. Big Ten opener, check. Now it's about, in the old days, we used to look at maybe 3 games over the course of the season. But I think Michigan now is at that point where you got to do those check marks. Okay, quality win at home against non-conference, quality win at home against a good Big Ten team in Rutgers. Now, quality win on the road against a good Big Ten team in Wisconsin. You've got to check those boxes, rather, to get Michigan to the point where you say, okay, Michigan is quote-unquote back to be in Michigan. And I think that they are going to face these kinds of question marks all the way through the year. And the following week, they've got to go on the road to an improved Nebraska team for a night game. And that's going to be crazy because Nebraska almost beat Michigan State. And Nebraska, I think, has finally got some confidence in thinking, hey, we can play with these guys because they had Michigan State on the ropes late. So I think it's going to be tough. And I think every week it's going to be one of those, okay, check the box to see if Michigan is back to where Michigan should be.
So on that check the box list, Jim, after seeing this team the entire year so far, regular season, all the games, start to finish, being on the inside there in Ann Arbor, talking to the people where is this Michigan team, you think, better than Wisconsin going in to Madison Saturday, and where could they struggle?
Well, I think offensively they're better. Graham Mertz is struggling at quarterback. They've got a big offensive line, but their passing game is not there. I think Michigan is better offensively. I think their offensive line is good and improved better than I think we thought coming in. The loss of Ronnie Bell, I think, hurt their receivers. But one of those guys, somebody's got to step up and make some plays through the air. Cade has to be able to throw with efficiency, and they've got to be able to protect him against a defense that's going to really, really put pressure on him. And I think from a standpoint of defensively, I think Michigan's just as tough as Wisconsin is against the run. With Josh Ross in there, very good. I think the edge Michigan defensively is, I think their secondary is a little bit better than Wisconsin. That's the only area of edge I would give Michigan. It's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a 4-quarter game. And Michigan's going to have to play well because you're playing on the road against Wisconsin, and they're desperate. And it's Barry Alvarez Day in Madison that day. So they're going to be on go. And I think Michigan has got to get up front early in that game and kind of make a statement early, because if they let Wisconsin get away early, then it's going to be a long, long day, and they're going to have to fight an uphill battle all the way.
A couple of things I look at is that between Penn State and Notre Dame, and to start their season, Wisconsin has been through, and outside of that collapse in the fourth quarter, they've been through two very physical football games.
Oh, no question. I agree. And Michigan, believe me, Washington and Rutgers were both physical football games. So I think they're ready. And they've been through four quarters. I mean, the question mark we had with Michigan about tight games, they answered that against Rutgers. So that box was checked. Now it's about doing it on the road.
Yeah, I just say it's a road, and where we're going to wrap up, Jim, that if this game was at the Big House Saturday, I'd feel real comfortable about Michigan winning by 7-10 points. But because it's in Madison, this team hasn't been road tested, and Cade McNamara, hostile environments. I don't know if you call Rutgers a hostile environment last year, but there haven't been. Well, that'd be 2 years ago. Well, no, that was last year, right? When Rutgers,
last year.
Yeah, when he came in for Milton, right? Yeah.
Right, and you're right, because nobody was in the stadium either.
Right.
So that really wasn't classified as
No, that's what I'm trying to, get in with the COVID year. So he hasn't played in front of has he started a game in front of a hostile crowd? No.
No.
Wow.
No, he hasn't. And how about the ones he's going to start? He's going to go to Madison, he's going to go to Nebraska, and he's going to go to Michigan State. I mean, you want to talk about baptism under fire? Those are the road games he's going to have to really perform in.
Well, we'll see. Got to play them. They're on the schedule. Michigan at Wisconsin on Saturday. Wolverines remain a 1-point favorite on the road. They're number 14 in America. Should be a good one. Jimmy Brandstatter will be on the Michigan Football Radio Network on some of these huge radio network stations. Jimmy, always appreciate your time.
Thanks so much, Bill. Always good talking with you. You take care now.